Quick update this morning. The Vice President Kamala Harris is in the air right now. She's flying past the southern border here, the U.S.-Mexico border, to Honduras. She's going to spend the day in Honduras and examine the, quote, root causes of immigration. She's going to be back at the White House by 5 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. She's also going to attend the inauguration of the new president in Honduras, who happens to be a socialist. Again, she's going to accomplish all of this and be back in Washington by 5 p.m. Pretty unbelievable. All right, the prospect of President Biden naming the first African-American woman to serve on the Supreme Court could, at the very least, give Democrats some positive headlines heading into the midterm elections next November. Joining us now for more is member of the House Ways and Means Committee and vice chair of the House GOP Doctors Caucus, North Carolina Congressman Dr. Greg Murphy. Congressman, great to have you back on. Good to see you.
Good morning, Rob. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you. I want to get your take on some breaking news this morning. Tennessee Congressman, your colleague Jim Cooper, just announcing that he will retire in the fall, which makes, if my count is accurate, 29 Democrats now running for the exits before November the 8th. That number we expect to just grow and grow as we get closer to the fall. But what do you make of that? 29 Democrats now retiring.
Yeah, Rob, we jokingly consider this the largest and growing fastest growing caucus in the Congress is the Democratic Departure Caucus.
Right.
I think it's just a sign. It's just a sign. These people are not stupid, and they understand that the Democratic policies have this nation on the wrong track. And even more importantly, they understand that the American people see that. If you look at all the things that go from Afghanistan to the debacle at our southern border to inflation to the defund the police movement, all these things that are being pushed by the Democratic Party, America doesn't want that, and they're raising their voices, and they're voting in a lot of places and with their feet as they're moving so many blue states. So I think that the handwriting is on the wall, and some of these members of Congress are just seeing this as a sign as a time rather to just call it quits and to move on.
Congressman, yesterday the big news out of Washington, although not confirmed yet, we still haven't heard from Justice Breyer himself, but the 83-year-old Supreme Court justice apparently will be retiring after 27 years on the high court. We think this spring when the session ends, maybe late June, early July. And President Biden said that he's going to stick to his pledge of appointing a black woman, the first black woman, to the court, ostensibly eliminating over 90% of the population here in the U.S. What do you make of that, and why announce that? Why not just do it?
Yeah, it's the prerogative of the President of the United States to nominate who he feels is most competent and would be the best Supreme Court justice. Why people have to be labeled in one particular category or another, I think is very, very wrong. I think it's a misdeed of justice, to be honest with you, because then we're basically saying that somebody's skin color is going to be how they think, which in my opinion is as racist as it gets. And so, I pray that we get another Supreme Court justice that is fair, that actually looks at the Constitution first rather than any other social issue. We don't need another activist judge on any court in the United States, especially on the Supreme Court. So we want fair, we want impartial judgment, and that's where I think hopefully we can actually start getting some trust back by the American people in the judicial system, just like Fauci's ruined it in the medical system.
Well, that's where I wanted to go. And we're 8 days away, by the way, from the genocide games in Beijing, which is not far from Wuhan. Yesterday, we got some information that goes back to this. And you are a doctor, also a member of Congress, so you can speak with some expertise to this. Did COVID really leak from that lab in Wuhan? We got some information yesterday that documents are now available that prove that Dr. Fauci and other scientists, including Dr. Francis Collins, worked to suppress the lab leak theory in February and March of 2020 because it would, quote, upset science and international harmony. Does Dr. Fauci need a lawyer?
Yeah, I think Dr. Fauci needs a doctor, to be very honest with you. Rob, we'll never be able to know for sure because we gave the Chinese 10 months to scrub and clean the place. But I'm sorry, common things happen common. And when you have evidence that smacks right in front of your face, I don't have any way to prove this myself, but it'll be very, very hard to convince me that this did not leak from the lab. I don't think it was done intentionally, but we know that lab leaks have happened before. We know that gain of function was occurring in the Wuhan lab. And it makes, when you add A plus B, usually you get C, and this is probably most likely what happened. The sad thing is Fauci's lied throughout the entire thing.
Exactly. And with almost 900,000 Americans dead as a result of this, I don't see why you wouldn't just be upfront. be upfront from the beginning. It came from a lab. Here's what we're going to do to try and get through this. Instead, you lie to the American people. I'm wondering if he needs to lawyer up. I think that's going to become a bigger issue for the once good doctor, Tony Fauci. Yeah. All right,
Rob, his arrogance and his his duplicity have really hurt medicine in the United States. And it is, personally, I'm a physician of 30 years.
Right.
It's very painful to see this happen to American medicine.
Yeah, and just the distrust that people have for the medical community right now at an all-time low. Congressman Greg Murphy, great to see you. Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Take care, Rob.
All right. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.